Huh? Let's wait for people to come and join us. Let's wait for people. Let's wait for people. Hi, Sophie. Say hi to everybody. Hello. Come on, Ruby. Hi, Carolina. Hello. Hello. Hi there. Hi, Philippe. Hi, C. Hi, Latress. Kimberly. Hi, Lati. Safi was here, yeah. She's still here. Come on. Come on. Come on. What's up? What's up? Come on. Tonight is the new moon. Tonight we have new moon in Gemini. So guys, I don't know how many will join. It is Tuesday. Everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Hi, Lati. Hello. Oh, Dean is here. Hi, sweetheart. Who else is here? Claudia, Hannah, Kathy. So guys, tell me where you're from and tell me your sign. So there you go. I was like really chilling today. It was like a really weird day for me. It was like very anxiety, kind of like through the roof. So I was like doing Reiki on me for like 2 hours and I feel like completely refreshed right now. So what does the new moon mean? Hannah, great question on full moon. Okay, very simple. And I know this is not a scientific approach, but science does have a little bit with it, right? Because you know the tidal waves are actually kind of like connecting to the moon. When the moon is full, the waves are higher and it kind of like goes through that periodical kind of a thing. So in a kind of like spirit world, in a kind of like world of, you know, sort of, let's say, organic living, a new moon, it's signifying it's new, it's a start of a new cycle, it's a start of this like 29.5 days, and we are going into that. So new moon generally says which messages, what you need to do over this next 29.5 days, right? We have month. It is sort of like analogy, like, oh, what will I do in June? But here it goes like in different cycles about moon, right? So you have like 10 moons for pregnancy, and these kind of like things can be actually more accurate. Full moon is like when it's at the highest, and then goes to waning moon. So full moon is like, okay, now I was trying and I was working on these messages, but now there are certain things I need to release, and so I'm doing these readings full moon and new moon, sort of like that, to channel these two messages. Guys, we are all part of this big matrix, right? Most of you understand that this is not real, and we have to deal with this in a kind of like diligent manner. So that's why this kind of like messages are not confusing us. Where are we going and how we are going about it, etc., etc., right? So hopefully I'm not going to close this. We're trying to put this mouse aside. So hi, sunflower girl. So Hannah, was that good explanation, or do I need to elaborate more? Also guys, hi, Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn, and La Seneca. That's probably some French kind of like thing. Hi, Bridget. Just got your email seconds ago and I was reading and said, gotta start. I'll finish it later. Hi, Maria. So guys, there is like a big announcement. My first group is on the lesson. What is it? 9? Right? 9, Lati. Is it like you just going through this week? And they need some practice. So some people basically have chosen to do the student reading. So if you guys want a very affordable reading, but you also have to kind of like work with me because the students are still studying. So it's going to be $15 only. You kind of get one question, and instruction is in the description box. Hopefully Lati will be able to, hi Pleiadian Tarot, to kind of like paste it in. So it's kind of like a really good way to do it. I am going to supervise every single reading, so going to make sure the messages are what they should be, because this is kind of like meant as simple kind of like practice. And trust me, these people are actually really good at this, and it's sometimes really good to be with a completely fresh reader, because like they were so concerned, oh, I don't know how do I do that, and I am so shy and this and that, and it's kind of like where they really open up like a flower, and they'll be open up in front of you. So this is really up to you. And actually, no, Lati, for this reading, particularly, and my brother is building it, and he was busy in the evening. Let me, did I not paste this? Here we go. Let me just do this. I'm going to build a special link, which is going to be cattarot.ca/student reading. But until this is done, here is the way to go about it. So there you go. Hi, Pleiadian Tarot. It was really nice talking to you. So by the way, guys, YouTube has a really weird new rule, and new rule is like that only 1,000 subscribers you can, I don't know, monetize your videos and do the stuff. At 100,000 videos you can actually delete anybody's account, so you just become dangerous. But let's not get there. I'm not even close to 100,000. But I really want to kind of like give heads up to Pleiadian Tarot. She's just still building, so maybe you can just drop by her channel and just click on subscribe and kind of like help her kind of like practice and continue with this, because this is pretty much to us who are spending our time instead of like watching a movie. Spending with you kind of like really means a lot. So I see 300 billions, well, you'll take over the world. Okay, yeah. Anyway, hopefully on Saturday on my live, I'll probably hopefully hit 3 million views, which kind of means a lot to me. This channel didn't grow rapidly because it's not entertainment channel. I'm not dancing naked. I might consider that later, but it's more or less connecting with people who are very spiritual, who really want to learn, and it means the world to me because I really like it. Oh, but yeah, welcome. Maybe you want to drop a link for people to make it easy. I don't know if you can click on your name and how this works. So you don't want to see me naked. No, I'm a little bit chubby right now. Actually, I don't want to see myself right now naked, even though my cats are walking around me naked all the time, and apparently that's fine with me. Okay, so this is how it's going to work this today. Spiritual messages. We did it last time. Dean was a big helper, so yay to Dean. And look at Dean. Look at that, like haha, just go ahead kind of a thing. So I'm going to just cut the deck, and we are going to see what kind of messages are going to come through. I'm going to place the card right on the top, so each basically sign is going to have a different message. Okie dokie. So shall we start? Gemini, they are still celebrating their birthdays. Happy birthdays, Gemini. You Gemini still have a discount with me, and let's start reading. I just really hope that mods, you're going to tell after each sign, mention to people they can get their own student reading. They can get my own reading going to cattarot.ca, but here they can go directly and just send an email to me saying, hey, I kind of like want one of these student readings, so that way I can direct it to basically chosen students. So that's how it's going to work out. So just a second, just give me a second here. I'm seeing one student that I would like him to come and join us on live, and we will see, because Lati is actually one of the readers and Kyle is the other one for now, and so we are starting with two of them. They have been the most committed, right? So just so you know. if you hear a pretty girl's voice, or if you hear a pretty boy's voice. Okay, so let's go back. Gemini. Gemini, 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 Gemini. Oh my gosh, Pleiadian, that's very sweet of you to say. Okay, Gemini. Gemini, for this new moon, what are the best messages for them to really work on? What do they need to go toward, and what do I need to kind of like get rid of, kind of shy away from? So what do we have? Time to go. Then Gemini messages. Cosmic consciousness. Gemini messages. Patience and planning. Gemini messages. Blossom. Gemini messages for this new moon. Complacency. General messages for Gemini for this new moon. Ebb and flow, while talking about the moon. There we go. And let's go one more card. Gemini messages for this new moon. Let's go with this one. And guess what it is? Lovers. Here you are. Well, this is kind of like really interesting, I have to tell you. First of all, generally for our birthday kind of transition, we are feeling really good. And then at the end of it, we feel like crap. It's kind of like the month before and month later, it's kind of like getting weird. You are actually doing a little bit different stuff. I think there is like the end of some cycle here for you. I have a feeling that you having like these 2-9 vibes, right? There is maybe a lack of something. There is like maybe feeling of being isolated, maybe feeling sick, maybe feeling, oh my gosh, nothing is growing, right? But the truth is that this is just an ebb and flow, right? You know, it is like tidal waves, they kind of push and pull, and it's a cyclical. It is, yes, it is connected to the moon, and it is kind of very, very kind of like important to kind of like pay attention to these moon phases, and just to know that being on the bottom doesn't mean you're going to be bottom on tomorrow. You know how this like sinus curve also goes, it goes up and down. I really feel giving the rest of the messages, you have cosmic consciousness. The cosmos is within you. Awaken to this consciousness. Then you have patience and planning. You probably hate me right now by telling you this because you're air sign and I patience and air sign. You cannot even put it in the same box. It's kind of like really, really weird. Especially this card really reminds me of Two of Wands for some kind of like reason, right? Where it is a Two of Wands but in a different way, right? So there is like this kind of like light coming through. Look at this angel with actually eyes folded here, and it's kind of really skinny guy over here, and kind of almost looks like a boy and a lady, but he has a really big hat over here. I'm kidding, of course. I really think there is a shift. There is a shift. That feeling of lack probably created vibrations that have been grounding you on a level way below you belong, and it is time to claim yourself. Claim yourself by time to go from basically any crap that has been going on. But look at how she's like almost like an angel, just like kind of like knowing that the exit is going to be there. So it is like just knowing I'm going in a new direction. And then you have like this blossom, and look at that, this kind of like fire. And to me, this is always a fire in your belly. It's kind of like going through it, and there is a growth over here. This is this Judgment card, releasing the past. You guys are reclaiming yourself. There is something really good about this card, mind you, it's kind of like a spiritual transformation. These are all very spiritual cards, and I kind of like really like it. It's almost like it's a break. It's not like a breakthrough to me. It's always when all of a sudden something happens. To me, this is telling me that this has been going for quite a while. You were trying to break through for quite a while, but have been kind of like returning back to this base. Now you are going to push through, and it's going to be very, very good. If you guys are into the dating world, then I have a feeling that you might be either joining another Gemini or a Scorpio. That actually there is a possibility also of a fire sign, and it's going to be really interesting. Or maybe you guys will set sort of like your mind that you have to let the past go and said, okay, whatever, I have learned this, maybe I can learn more, but it's been enough. I kind of like been through it too many times. It is time to go. So my dear Gemini, this is for you for now, and we are going to Cancer. Let me catch up with it. And guys, again, Cancer, if you want a student reading, please check the description of the box. Few students from my Cat Tarot school, and yeah, you can join the school as well. We'll be doing this readings. It's going to be audio or video. In any case, it's going to be good, and it's kind of like really a good price because they need a practice. If you want a reading with me, you can get a reading with me. So Cancer, what are the messages? What are the messages for Gemini, for Cancer for this new moon? Building blocks, a nice card for Cancer. The long road, Cancer. Rejoice and celebration. Oh my gosh, you guys have amazing messages. And of course, we are going into Cancer moon next month, right? And we are going into Cancer in 9 days. So that kind of like makes sense that the transition is kind of like going Cancer. Waterfall, effortless, just, you know, relax, go with the flow. Oh my gosh, this is really good. Cancer. Service, Cancer. Thank you, Dean. Love. Wow. Okay, I'm Cancer. I'm Cancer now. And one more card. It's really, really good. Oh my gosh, Lati. Oh my gosh, Dean. You are like so lucky. Oh, this is like one of the best readings ever. And the Emperor to boot. So, tell me, guys, it is a need for solidifying something. It's maybe all I see here is goodness, nothing but goodness over here. You will be good to your family, you'll be good to elder, you'll be like, I mean, giving a hand, maybe even resources to people who kind of like maybe need to be helped by you, who basically need money or need time. But it's not going to feel like a pressure. Whatever you give is going to feel effortless. Waterfall is basically card that teaches us that water has this really good quality. It's not like us people when, you know, like we want to do something, we, oh my gosh, where do I start, how do I go? Well, water just starts, and it's finding the way, and it's going to find a way to the ocean each and every time. And this is like what this is saying, guys. You just keep going as far as business. Looks like you keep building something, or you know, you're moving in a new direction. There is like new reconstruction happening, building blocks. You are setting a new stage. Yeah, it might not happen overnight because it says the long road. You have to take a longer route to reach your goal. Persevere, you will get there. And then you will rejoice in celebration. You'll have this month full of celebration. You will almost like be a hero. You will be there for everybody, and everybody will be there for you. But the best message of all is this one. If you guys are chasing love, then love is going to find you. this is going to be really effortless, and it could be really in one of those weird situations that maybe you're in a hospital, you're visiting a friend who has a sick parent, and you're just like simply not checking on their parent because they're dealing with that, but you're checking on your friend. Hey, how are you? Are you okay? Do I need to bring something for you? And it might be one of those places where you actually meet somebody. This is also Gemini card, so I don't know if you guys have a Gemini or Aries over here, or even Virgo. Like, this is like really, really highly resonating over here. So Cancer, you know, like when the readings are great, there's not much else to say than enjoy it. Really enjoy it. This is like one of the best readings, and especially I actually really like the long road. Like, who wouldn't like, and look at here, like you see this like hermit standing there, who wouldn't like this long road when this is like what's happening every day is like sort of like a symphony, and it's almost like done for you. It's very good. Enjoy it, Cancer. Really, really do. So, everything okay? Guys, you're getting a connection, everything kind of like works. Oh my gosh, retrograde is playing me every day of this year. This is horrible. Leo. And again, Lati, please post so the Leo can see where they can get the student readings. So student readings are basically to help you to maybe get a reading for 15 bucks and answer that one question, and my students can actually practice, so that's kind of good. So Leo, messages for the new moon. Leo. Unfinished symphony. Oh my gosh, this is so lovely. Leo, messages for the new moon. Balance. Leo, messages for the new moon. Victory and success. That is kind of like that fighter there. Leo, messages for this full moon. Harmony. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, unfinished symphony is maybe missing few kind of like sets of keys to get there. Leo, messages. Again, balance. So what are the chances? Leo, so were you out of balance? Did you just lack the music? Because music in itself is balance, right? And it's also that positive kind of like hormonal thing that kind of like makes you really happy. So Leo, for this new moon. Seek. And Leo for new moon. And there you go, repetition. So it's kind of really interesting what I see over here. You guys are having strongly Cancer, Virgo, fire signs coming through it, but also water signs. And Libra is really domineering over here. So I don't know if Leo, are you dealing with some kind of legal issues? Look at the little face, not super happy camper over here. So three-party situation maybe going on over here. This is what it says: nurture your masculine and feminine sides, bring them into balance. So yes, it could be about the other things, but it could be that you're maybe too soft or too hard. You know, it's kind of like that fine balance between you freak out. My fine balance is like if somebody calls me 3 times in a row, in a row, I go, what? Instead of like, hello. And that's kind of like saying, kind of like, don't overdo it, kind of a thing. And looks like, because the central kind of like key over here is that balance and unfinished symphony. And the reason the symphony to me is a story, it's just like a musical story that is also supposed to affect our senses, but not through eyes as we read, but through our ears. That's why I actually really like audiobooks, because I'm auditory type. And see, there's like this cosmic egg here is like the face in it, right? And like she's sitting on top of it. It almost like sounds to me that there is like some kind of like cracking out the birth out of it. the Harmony card is like, again, talking about the nature. And even though they have the instruments, it's really talking about how nature is a melody of itself. And I don't know if you ever kind of go and sit in a park and just like pay attention to it, because you see we still have few birds, and saying you guys need to set yourself free, and you actually will really do a big jump in this month. You almost like tying up loose ends. This is that 11. This is the lesson of this entire year. And also, guys, I did release the annual, and the annual are also listed all in the description, and this is now open to everybody, and the annual for 2019 will be able to be ordered in October. Now you guys are going to really decide to take care of yourself. So be it yoga, be it meditation, this is going to be definitely the key for your victory and success this month. And I think this balance is telling me, like, you are so out of balance right now, do not want to sort of just forget about it. And it's kind of like really important for you to pull it in. So Leo, again, it's also very good, like getting this balance twice. I guess, hello, it's kind of like really, really important message, so don't miss it. So who is next? Virgo. Virgo. Let's see the messages for Virgo. So again, Virgo for the new moon. Blessed. Virgo for new moon, spirit. Virgo for new moon, spiritual strength. Same, all of them are the same, and there's a 22 over here. Virgo, spiritual messages. Dance. Virgo, spiritual message. I don't know like why I heard this song, Vamos a la playa, let's go to the beach, and maybe because she's like dancing on something kind of like this little burn, but like it's just like reminded me on kind of like that connection. Forgiveness. You are really hitting really high-end chakras, Virgos. Master. Now let's talk about this one. Very interesting, very, very interesting. Let's pull one more for Virgo. Right, Lati, I cannot get the song right now out of my head. I have to work on it. Vamos a la playa. Na, 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 na. And we have Karma card, Wheel of Fortune over here. So, okay, Virgo again. Maybe somebody can put the link for the student things, because I'm mentioning this with every sign, and sorry to sound like a parrot to all of you live. I just like want to make sure that everybody knows that students are doing reading for only 15 bucks. So if you want a question, one question per question answer, just check it down there. That's a good idea, Lati. Why don't you two dance? And I was really hoping I would win the lotto. I was like prepared for 60 millions on Friday, and so I went to check it, and I didn't want to check the numbers purposely, and I heard like you won. I was like so excited, and the guy just handed me $2. Great. I spent 11 bucks to get $2. Wonderful. So guys, Virgo, this is really good. Virgo, you are hitting your purple chakra. This is the third eye chakra. You're still dealing with some issues, because this is definitely not spirit. This master card is like somebody is master of you. Somebody is keeping you, something is keeping you captive. Maybe you need to open up. Maybe you need to realize maybe there are addictions. Maybe there is somebody who's putting you down. Maybe somebody you cannot let go. Maybe you're like really feeling hurt. You are missing that soft place to fall. This is basically really telling you to just keep persisting. You see, the 9 is your number, and this is a number of spiritual strength. Sometimes things are not the best, just keep going, and it's going to really happen for you, because you're going from 9 to 10. You are going into this Wheel of Fortune, and look at, like, this is like one of the original tarot decks. Well, not this one, is replica, of course, I wish, but this is kind of like how they had this Wheel of Fortune really showing, look, when you're on top, you completely forget that you're on top. And he actually even has these ears. It's kind of like really, really weird, almost like a pig ears kind of a thing. It's kind of completely I cannot even speak. About kind of like being on top, but the next step is going to be, you're going to fall down. And I really love the guy on the bottom because he's holding the whole thing, and it's probably feeling very, very difficult, but you know, he is getting certain wisdom. And then look at this, here we have a child. It's almost like the life passing by here. So I think this is what's going to be the message for you, because it says spirit is moving in you. You're the wisdom and understanding. And you have noticed that I'm doing 7 decks, and 7 decks is because they're spiritual messages. And you did get one very important message, which is 22, which is a major arcana. 22 is about building and rebuilding, but really big stuff, not small stuff. It's sort of like something structural that is going to make a huge difference. And you're going to be very successful in actually pushing this forward. Whatever Virgos that are resonating with kind of like being down in the rut, or still holding onto some hurt, or still holding onto some issues, I think this is going to be the time to really look in the eyes and say, I really need to let go of this. And this could be addiction. This could be addiction, could be drugs, could be alcohol, could be cigarettes, could be drinking, could be working too much, could be sex. This is simply addiction. Definition of addiction is like that's something you're doing compulsively. But this can also be codependence. So it's not only just dependence on the substance, but it's dependence on a person. And many people that I do the reading for, I'm so in love with him, and it's like my twin flame. Instead, I pull the devil card, because that's the devil card. And devil card is the other side of the Lover's card. It's like a dark side, where it's saying really you have to really learn what love is, and this is not. And I think this is what you guys are going into. You are really going to feel very strong. So if you can dance, turn on some music, kind of do stuff, this is going to raise your vibration, because everything is about higher vibrations. You have this like third eye chakra, it's all going up for you. So just enjoy it. You need to get out of this. This is a really, really, really clear message, Virgo. And Libra. Sex, what's that? Brooklyn, that's pretty much the question I'm asking these days as well. Yeah, exercise. Sport sex, as my friend goes. Of course, he's bragging about having sex all the time, and I highly doubt that he got laid in a while, so I'm not telling him that. So, Libra. Guess Libra, if you want student reading, take advantage of my students. So, Libra, new moon messages. New moon messages. Regeneration. Libra, intuition. I love this. You intuitively know the right thing to do. Listen to your inner voice. And again, it would be sort of like connecting Libra messages for this new moon. Libra, shadow. Why is Libra having shadow? Libras hate shadows. Oh my gosh, it couldn't be a worse card for Libra. I swear to you, Libra can get devil, they can get tower, and they'll go pff, just like, come and try me. But they get shadow, it's like, ooh. Just imagine, nice Libra, likes to get dressed, likes to show and present, and then they kind of like enter into mud, into dark. They cannot be seen. It's just like a nightmare. Libra, new moon messages. Grounding. Maybe that's why. Libra messages for new moon. Wisdom. Libra messages for this new moon. Throat chakra. You need to do some work, Libra. Absolutely. Throat chakra is about expression, and it's kind of really interesting because intuition and throat chakra connect really, really well together, right? And it says listen to your inner voice, but this is really asking you to express it. It looks like you're going through the process of maybe facing everything that you hate, maybe facing your dark side, maybe sort of like even going to that level of saying I hate you. And it's going to be good. It's going to be because this for you is your kryptonite. This is your basically moment for, you know, like, I mean, reckoning, where you kind of like really have to face yourself. And then you'll say, okay, now it's over. I face my fears. Let me kind of like go through it. Let me get one more here. Libra. Look at that. Didn't Gemini got Gemini, and Libra is getting Libra? Even though I have to say, I always go by the number in this deck, because at that time they did have the Strength card as 11, and 11 the Justice card as the Strength. But I'm going to go with this as a Justice, even though it's a horrible image, isn't it? The boy trying to beat the lion. And of course, if you see that today, we would all freak out. So sorry about Visconti Terra, but to his basically credit, this lion is really angry, as you can see it, so it's not going to take this really well. So Libra, how do you feel? Do you feel that you have been suppressed? Do you feel that maybe you were kind of like one side of you was like too heavy? And this everything tells me you actually didn't express something, because you see the true thing is here about tree. It's saying that tree kind of like needs like this food on all levels. Tree is kind of drawing the food from planet, from minerals, from the soil. But here on this side, it's growing and showing this bounty, but it's actually giving it away, right? We get oxygen. So that's that symbiotic relationship over here that is going on. It's kind of like not really very much like you, but it looks like you are actually not going from the clouds down. You're going from that mud and water and deep, and maybe you have been dealing with some emotional decision, because it's talking about regeneration. It's talking about, hey, you know, something has died and has been burned down, and maybe you burn it down. And like maybe you're reaching ability to kind of like have some kind of like wisdom. Even though I have to say, whenever I see this card, it always reminds me of Gaia, just like this one. So I don't know what is connecting. Is it connecting to your home? Is it connecting? Home is where the heart is. Is it connecting it with a person that you're trying to get some answers and speak your truth about it? Because you will. You maybe want to beat the shit out of somebody, but trust me, you're going to calm down, because once when you start delivering messages, it's going to be okay. You need to speak your truth. You really do, and this is what's going to be happening. But this is a new moon in Gemini, so this is your sister sign, so it does make sense that the duality kind of like the Gemini brings is going to bring this kind of like maybe even closure, or simply kind of like a new configuration or new negotiation that I see over here. And Scorpio, right? Oh my gosh, Scorpio. You guys are so intense. Scorpio is like so intense. Hi Sagittarius. Hi Temperance Rising. So sweet to see you. XP 13. So that's why we are here. Like, we have each other here. Like, we should stick with it. Like, even though if we find a whole bunch of people around, like, this is kind of like a crowd. Friends are who are there with you even when you have to take the bus. So Scorpio for new moon. To be fair, whoa, I feel some Scorpios are dealing with some Libras over here. Scorpio, that's lovely, Brooklyn. Check this out. That's basically indulgence, Brooklyn. So socialize. Scorpio, messages for this new moon. That's you. So Gemini got themselves, Libra got themselves, now Scorpio got themselves. Scorpio, messages for this new moon. Desert. Oh my gosh. Scorpio for this new moon. Gratitude. Pregnancy for some of the Scorpios, guys. Definitely. Scorpio message. Oh my gosh, this kind of came out. And came out not with one. Just breathe, but it was reversed. And then you have crown chakra. Then you have fine balance in base chakra. What's up, Scorpio? They're like two sort of like, it's there's like 2 kind of end chakras from the 7 basic chakras, and it's generally really not good, but both of them are affected. But kind of like does make sense that this is going to happen if you are sort of like regenerating, you're going through this transformation. It definitely would make sense. So let me just get one more card here. Okay. Scorpio messages. And you're getting the Magician. So there you go. You're getting these Gemini messages one way or the other. So let's see what to make a sense out of it. I really feel there are like actually few messages here, and not necessarily for it could be different messages, different Scorpios. And again, Scorpios, take advantage of student readings. Check in descriptions. So now my students are doing $15 reading for practice. 1 question, $15, so take advantage of it. And you know what happened, Scorpio? Did you go through some kind of like difficulties because you need to find equilibrium in between work, babies, you know, children, home, you know, all this kind of obligations, romance? It looks like you have been pushed everywhere. And because both of the cards, and look at this is 38, this is 11, and basically 2 linking together, saying, again, put things in order. Try to pay attention to the other people, but not recklessly, because just breathe card means you have to also face your own shadow. Mind you, this for you is nada kind of a thing. The Vision Quest card always says, look, people used to kind of like really go out to isolate themselves. This will kind of be your Hermit card, to kind of like be able to connect to those spiritual messages. Because imagine they were doing back then when they had no television and no social media. I just realized today how basically I never have peace, because before, let's say when I was a teenager, when we didn't have the internet, you really actually had to call somebody. Imagine, there's no texting. You had to actually call somebody and agree to go out, and it was actually wonderful. You didn't have this pressure. So now you're sitting at home doing minding your business, and people find you and irritate you. It's kind of like, I don't know. So this is like one of those times that people would even abandon that and say, look, I just need to leave the socialization, which is kind of really weird. And that's what I'm saying. It's maybe sending 2 different messages, and it says get together with your friends, socialize and have fun, but this one's saying go on your own and kind of like try to find some kind of like deep answers. So whether this is kind of like you want to cover everything, maybe you really want to go deep and see what is really that you want. And I really feel that maybe you really have to isolate yourself at the very least 1 evening. Just like put the candles on, you know, get some kind of like relaxing music going, and express your gratitude. And maybe then go into your sense of fairness, because you need to release something in order to create something. It's definitely giving you to breathe, because these chakras are getting, and not these chakras, I don't think these 2 are the problem. I think all the ones in between are the problem, and hence you're transforming. I think that you guys have sacral chakra and solar plexus and heart chakra and throat chakra and even third eye currently almost like suppressed, because these 2 kind of like seal that process of energy, and you really need to reconnect, and you need to kind of like recharge this. It looks like you have been too stretched out, and this is why it's saying, look guys, spread your wings. In this card, you're transforming. That's the third eye. You need to kind of come back. And I love that your card is not here all dark, and that she's wearing this light green, so she's like all one big heart. So you're transforming your card. You're kind of like shifting from one point to another. Very strong messages, Scorpio. So you're going to have maybe mixed month, maybe a little bit of socializing, maybe, you know, some of the solitude, but just don't forget the solitude is going to be very important, and very important to express your gratitude. So who else is next? Saggies. Sagittarians. Messages for Saggies. Messages for Saggies for this full moon. Observer. Oh my gosh, that's a double slit experiment. Messages for Saggies love. Lucky messages for Saggies. Passion ignited. Oh my gosh, this is pretty good. Who was like the other one? Cancer, right? This is so far. Okay, now it's going to change. Saggies. Vigilance. I like this card too. Saggies. Messages. Enlightenment. And you guys are really philosophical sign. You're really guys sign that kind of like is looking for the bigger meaning in life. And there I go. I wanted to open the other card, but this one opened up. Just curious. And of course, share the love. You just cannot go wrong over here. Oh my gosh. Have you been through something, through thick and thin? It looks like you need to survive. You're exposed to, like here, to the elements. You actually really wondered if there is like actually the end goal, if there is like some kind of like end game in things. You really maybe even lost zest for life over here, Sagittarius. Sort of like maybe it was something that you need to find inside, because look at her. She's ripping this off and trying to kind of like go inside and figure things out. Mind you, this card also talks about betrayal. And you have a star. So it could be some kind of Aquarius, guys. You definitely have Aquarius over here. You have fire signs. You have air signs connecting over here. I'm wondering if there is like somebody from the past that has been a challenge, that has cost you, and maybe you have lost any faith. I think whatever it was, it is time to move forward. It's looking up. Look at this. Everybody is looking up. Everybody's looking up. And this is literally what you guys needed. You maybe have been going through completely hopeless. And this love can speak about so much. You're getting two cards that are talking about love. Mind you, the star is also about love, but it's sort of like universal love, friendship love, and hope. And you also have the passions ignited. But look what it's saying here. Love is both giving and receiving. Allow yourself to love and be loved. And that's what I see over here. I think somebody is going to offer you something. Pay attention, guys. Pay real attention. And this might happen in a church. This might happen on forums. This can happen on the internet or via email, because star generally relates to kind of communication through the air. It could be a closure. It could be self-love and kind of a realization of something, and then all of a sudden a feeling, I'm ready. I'm ready. One cycle finished, I'm ready. These are very strong messages to kind of like push through something that has caused lots of pain, and now it is kind of like time to move it forward. It's kind of like maybe even ripping through your own head, maybe wrapping your head around this, because look at that, she's kind of like finally seeing that light. So it's kind of like really good interpretation of the card. Then, and again, Saggies, if you really want one question, you can check my students. I mean, you can check me as well through my site, but just go down in the description and figure it out. Now, who's next? Capricorn. 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 New moon messages. Capricorn. Why do I have any Capricorn over here? This is not you guys. These are fixed signs. They always have this like why question. You should see my coaching with them. Oh why? Oh why? And then you try to explain to them, no, it doesn't matter. Life doesn't work this way. Just kind of like this is that loop. Like you start being stuck in a loop. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn. Any Capricorn here? Any Capricorn here, guys? Weave your destiny. Capricorn. Brooklyn. Suffering in silence. Capricorn. New moon messages. Oh, there you go. Hi, Queen of Pentacles. That's right. That's Capricorn. River. Very good card. So what's about this why? What's up for this why? Queen of Pentacles. You guys, Pentacles also go through why. I thought this is just a fixed sign kind of a thing. New moon messages for Capricorn. Impasse. New moon messages for Capricorn. Release. You're getting very strong Scorpio guys over here, and also Aries. I think this why it is talking about some kind of secret. You see, she has this book that, I don't know if you can see it because it's lower resolution. There is a big question mark on it. It has wings. Also, like, this person also has wings. I really think, because this is telling me that maybe you're going through a situation where you have to choose your path, or you feel that you don't have enough information, you don't feel you have a forum, you don't hear you have a platform, you don't feel you have enough money, you don't feel you look good enough. You know what I mean? We can go down this, like, basically rabbit hole forever. And then, why me? Maybe this is more or less a victim talking, right? Because the River is a wonderful card, and I always really, like, I always connect this Finland Normand. So we did have the waterfall with Cancers, and with you guys, this is saying, look, River is something very flexible. So something is calling for a higher flexibility in your life. River is actually running into the mountain. You know how I said for the waterfall always find the ocean, right? But look at here, this river hits the mountain. So what it does, it goes around. So this is teaching us that if we find people who are very immovable in our life, who are creating challenges, you just have to find a way around them. And I still didn't actually pull this one, Kim. You have narcissist in every sign. That's not definitely a sign, because narcissism is basically lack of soul, and you cannot even read for a narcissist properly, to be honest. Okay, so Capricorn, you're getting Temperance, but kind of like a pull it reverse. So something is the wrong place, something was the wrong time. You're feeling that somehow time was like not on your side, or situation went, you kind of like had it in your head one way and kind of like ended up completely different way. But I really like this, even though I think this entire period is still going to be for you asking your question. And I think you will be asking this 5 question, and the why question is like 31. This goes back to the Emperor. It's asking you to kind of like solidify yourself, to get in control, get in charge. But it's very hard to be in charge if you're sad, because look at that, she kind of like did climb up these like few steps to sort of like feel on top of the world. It's kind of like a need to be on my own. But the truth is, here it's saying you create your destiny, start weaving your own path. So as long as you sit here, you just cannot do that. You guys will really have to push yourself this month. If you don't, you will be nowhere. And I don't know about this, like painting, this guy with the big hands and big boots, and this like moon behind him. Impasse certainly means when you cannot move forward for some kind of release. Same here, we cannot move forward this mountain, so we're finding a different way. And same here, he is letting the light through it, right? So there are like certain things that need to be done for you guys. Otherwise, I am definitely seeing the vibes that some of you have been going through some stuff that sort of like came to status quo, and it now needs to be released. This is a good card. That card always talks about, well, something is coming to its natural end. It just cannot continue. It's just like you have a baby, you're pregnant, you have to deliver it. There is like no option. There's no option with this card. But what is on the other side, really, in this case, really depends on you. It's clearly telling you that some situation that you have been involved with is unworkable, or a person. And right now, you need to start renegotiating and kind of like go around maybe some hard questions, go around about some kind of like things, and figure out maybe a better way to approach it. Maybe kind of like use present yourself differently. You know, I would just say like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So try not to do that. Okay, so oh my gosh, Queen of Pentacles, Narcissist Psycho. So guys, Capricorn, you can get student reading. You can check in the description for this they are practicing, and you get only for $15, or you can get a reading with me. And next one, Aquarius. Messages for this new moon. Poised. Aquarius poised. Is this kind of like oxymoron? Aquarius new moon. Change direction. That's a clue. Aquarius, I should probably play tarot games with you. I sort of like give you clues and you have to guess where you're going, and then I give you next clue, and so on, and the one who actually ends up first maybe gets a tarot deck or something from me. So we'll see. Aquarius. Positive movement forward. These are love messages. Aquarius messages for this new moon. Rainbow blessings. What's going on? Is somebody like playing games on me? Like I have some spirits over here, they're pulling such good cards. Aquarius. This new moon. Isolation reversed, which is good. Maybe we are getting out of isolation. Aquarius. Shine reversed. And Aquarius. Oh, Aquarians have Sagittarius over here. Aquarians have Leo over here. So these energies are really, fire is really coming through. So I think, and plus we also have a rainbow, and we do know that rainbow comes when the sun is out and it's kind of like breaking the light with the water particles. So definitely water is also present. So I think Aquarians were on the wrong path to some extent. Maybe they were not on the wrong path, but maybe didn't have enough energy. Maybe kind of like they didn't sail into the sunset. I'm having like this strong sun card, and sun is to me optimism. Sun to me is like enjoyment. Sun to me is relaxation. Sun to me is like necessity. And maybe there is like some new way of looking through it. I love this card because she has stars, and I guess this would be us maybe going through it. We generally are not the most polished sign, and I think this is definitely asking us to kind of like brush up on our social skills, to brush up on basically how we eat with a fork and a knife. Sort of like, guys, maybe we just got too relaxed over here. It says all paths change course at some stage. This is your time. So time has come. There are like kind of blessings over here. Like I was driving once when I was, I don't know, 17, 18, and I saw the rainbow, and I literally, we did go under it. They say you cannot do it. Yes, I swear to you, I'm not crazy. We did go under the rainbow, and it was like really spectacular. It's just literally just a slice above you. It's not like as majestic when you see it on the sides. But I was saying to myself, if you just go under the rainbow, I'm going to make this like wish come true. And of course I made a really stupid wish. Instead of asking to win $1 billion or stuff, it just, I wanted to marry somebody who ended up marrying somebody, and then it was a disaster. So beware what you wish for, guys. I think this is one of those stuff. I think isolation and positive moving forward, I think there was issues. There was like, to me, almost like tells me of somebody being through some, you know, death, some rejection. This is definitely communication card. This is definitely somebody actually going forward. Which one was that? The Leo, I think, going into sort of like more willful isolation, which kind of would make sense on that axis. And Aquarians are saying, yeah, I'm sailing away from it. Be careful, because if there was not activity for too long, maybe the energy is not there. Kind of like batteries need to be charged, because this is definitely telling me that we need to still build a confidence, and that we might get really easily burnt out. But the Temperance card is saying that something is the right time. Something is the right place. And like right now, the direction we change is going to be really good direction for us for the time being. Again, Aquarians, if you want students to answer your question, they're like really good offer for 15 bucks in the description or on the side. And if you want a reading from me, check my website. So we are going now to Pisces. Pisces. Hi. Hi, CB Hill. So Pisces for new moon. Pisces for new moon. Pisces for new moon. By the book. And it is a number 11. Pisces for this new moon. Pisces, sacred path. You're on the path of discovery and growth. Take the next step. Lovely card. You guys, you're like so in your element so far. Pisces, new moon. Hope reversed. Pisces, new moon. There we have crystals. You have amethyst crystal. So I'm seeing your third eye chakra as well. This actually could be a crown chakra as well getting affected, because you're getting 11, and Aquarius is a sign number 11, and here is like, okay, let's get to it. Pisces, new moon. Despondence. This one's down. Let's see, upright. Pisces, new moon. Well-deserved rewards. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay, Pisces, new moon. And there is the moon. Wow. La Luna. For a moment I was like thinking that Temperance, it looks very much similar. This is you guys. So again, you're getting yourself out. Maybe you have been dealing with Aquarius like personality, because I see definitely Aquarius coming through over here. And maybe because you're the 12th sign, you sort of like don't even belong to the zodiac, with Aquarius being sort of like they need to kind of develop the most, and you guys are already out there. You're already transferring to your spiritual world. You just don't have time for this. But this is saying that you actually did pull back, and I mean, look at that sense of understanding, connecting with things around you, and it's sort of like maybe you went to too much of a freestyling, and now it is a time to kind of like go back in tow and kind of like figure out how to do it. Maybe you let things loose for a while. Maybe you neglected your diet. Maybe you neglected things around us. Hey, hi from Canada. Yes, I'm talking about Pisces, and I'm in Canada as well. So I really think, guys, you are right now pushing it right back into being Pisces. You, for some reason, maybe you were looking for some kind of like physical manifestation of that you are doing the right thing, because look at him, he's standing on these gold blocks and they're pretty big. We all probably would want some of them, but some kind of like reward that maybe you wanted. I'm not saying that you're not going to get it, but this is the wrong path. This is where you're getting burned down, like, because you're trying to compete. It's almost like, can dolphins and butterflies compete? Then the question will be, in what? Butterfly is better designed for something, and dolphin is better designed for something else. It looks to me you're in competition with something that is not your strength, and you are really trying to go there, and then you're going to just realize, look, certain things just like made me unhappy. Maybe people around you are unhappy that you're claiming yourself, because this is clearly stating, and look at here, I don't know if you can see it, there is the path going to the top of the mountain, and this is kind of like finding answers for yourself, because this is clearly coming across. Take a next step. You need to focus. You need to kind of go in yourself. You're having like this third eye chakra, you're opening, you're going back to your own modality. You are sort of like understanding yourself. Maybe you were trying to kind of like catch up with the Joneses, and you're going like, what the heck is wrong with me? This is making me nervous. This is not healthy lifestyle. I simply just have to be happy with what I have and actually really enjoy it. And I think you're simply going to reconfigure this clearly this month, Pisces. And Pisces, if you want students to kind of like answer a question for you, just go in the description below and find the student reading PayPal. It's only 15 bucks. Or check my site for more detailed readings. Now we are going to Aries. Just Aries and Taurus left. Oh my gosh. Okay, Aries. Messages for Aries for this new moon in Gemini. Messages for Aries. Yang. Oof. I'm actually quite concerned right now for mankind. Aries and Yang. Oh my gosh, that's sort of like nuclear over here. Aries messages for this new moon. Money. Finances are important. There's enough abundance in the universe for everyone. My brother's is Aries. I was trying to convince him to buy Roomba, and he was just finding reasons not to. Aries messages for new moon. Memories of love reversed. Aries new moon. Whale. Aries new moon messages. Perfection. Aries new messages. Are you being too hard on yourself, Aries? It kind of like comes across that way. Maybe you're kind of getting out of your own box. You're thinking out of box. You're getting out. You're doing stuff. You're getting fully recharged. Money is a good card to get, I would say, but you know, there's also certain nostalgia. The memories of love to me is not so much about love, and I think this is more or less to me telling me about there's like this new motion, new hit. Yes, if you're career oriented, you're looking for a new job, this is definitely yes. You're going to come across as perfect. That's the only thing that bothers me. You're going to look like somebody who can be very playful. But if you set that bar that high, is that good for you? It's always better to kind of leave a little bit kind of like space that you can kind of amount. But oh my gosh, this is nuclear. Just be very careful, because you're already like a sign with Mars in it, and it's kind of like what can go wrong. You have a kid with a dynamite and the matches over here. Just, you know, maybe you kind of have to get this energy coming back. Let me see the card that's going to decide this. Aries. And there you go. You have, as Lati would say, La Rueda, or actually there is La Rueda salsa that I really never like to dance, but I see that it's very popular. And again, something is really moving in a good direction. Karmic accomplishment, you're moving forward, you're clearing something that you maybe didn't feel good about, or maybe you feel that you didn't accomplish something, and then when, almost like when you release something is really coming in a big way. You're going to put lots of work this month, lots of kind of energy, almost like I would say you would wake up as early as you can, maybe half an hour before, do some exercises before you go, you get this adrenaline going and feeling extremely energetic. Oh my gosh, this is going to be extremely important new moon for you. But I see I see lots of beginnings, so it's a completely new cycle going through it. Just don't set yourself up, Aries, okay? Okay. And we have the last one. We have Taurus. So, and also Aries, I guess, to get student reading, please check the description. There is a special offer for $15 for students, or you can get the reading with me. Same thing with Taurus, guys. Let's try with the messages first. Taurus. This new moon message in a bottle. That's interesting. Taurus messages this month are: Moon Goddess. You definitely, it says, the light in the darkness, continually being reborn, rejuvenate your life. You're going to be solving some puzzles, something that actually bothered you. I think the next 2 weeks for you, not so much this entire month. This month is very important for you to sort of like focus and then to release things to just kind of work for you on your behalf. So let me just see. Taurus, ocean, ebb and flow. Taurus, discovery. Taurus, darkest fears, but it is reversed. And again we have the moon over here and kind of like all phases. So this is like 3 out of 5. Taurus, this new moon, firm foundation, reversed. And one more for Taurus, one more for Taurus, one more for Taurus. Oh. Well, you're special in this month, I have to tell you. Something is going to happen. Honestly, it's going to be some kind of breakthrough. I actually don't mind Tower in this, and almost like these two cards to me kind of like come across the same, because you have to open this bottle and inside is hollow. This is hollow. On the other hand, like ebb and flow is like it's filled with water, but like those kind of waves can actually have completely vacuum underneath. This is all kind of like creating the waves with kind of like a moon. So I don't know what you are facing, guys, but it's going to be really a month, I think, where you're going to face yourself. It's kind of like weird. It's kind of like flower has a kind of like happy face on it, but to me it's really important that there's like, it's not green. Usually they show heart chakra is green. Here is pink, and to me this is kind of love. It's really type of love that you love. It's kind of like somebody who is going to make you feel that this can last forever. This, however, is going to only happen when something, you need to give up something. You need to give up something that you were meticulously building. There is actually a door to it. So there is, it's not actually that you have to give up on everything. It's almost like kind of modification of something, because you see, if just the top part falls apart, it's going to be okay. But there is like an entrance to this tower, and not everything is lost for you. I think it's going to be something that can actually shook you up. I really see that, and I really feel it's going to be in 2 weeks exactly. That would be 28th of June. That something is going to shake you up, because you do like to have this like firm foundations, because look at him, he has this kind of like walls, or he built up. But when this card reverses, it's kind of like understanding that maybe things are not as difficult. Maybe you really needed to reach out, maybe, because this is really coming to me as dark. I really have to be honest with you. I mean, he is struggling over here, and then we talk about the darkness over here, darkest fears. But darkest fears also means that you're releasing something. Maybe some of you had a really severe backache, and backache does happen especially when you have financial problems, and especially when you kind of like, you need to move forward, right? Because it's connecting to the hip region, which is kind of like responsible for moving us forward. This message in the bottle tells me that, and this is this devil card, that you don't necessarily need to listen to everybody who is having their 2 cents, including me. You have to be sort of like the ruler of your own life, because this month is literally going to show you some kind of like cyclical nature. You're going to realize that maybe you're sort of repetitive in a nature, and maybe you have been going through things over and over again. It's like when I deal with my clients and I tell them to watch a movie, and they, oh, I've seen this movie, I don't need to watch it. No, I do want you to watch it. And then, oh yeah, that was really different this time, because each time you see things, it's kind of really different attitude, because you're looking through different eyes of experiences. So Taurus, you guys will be going through something that is going to surface things for you. But because it's going to surface things, kind of really weird, because you're going into this kind of like darkness. You're kind of like solving the puzzle. You kind of like really like this foundation. You really like to kind of like push things forward. But I think here, this is more or less telling me that it's going to about sort of like self-dedication. It's going to kind of like, you're going to allow yourself to spend some time listening to your inner voice. There is this exercise that I'm doing Now it's almost the second year, and I advise all of you to do that. And exercise is very simple. It's simply saying, okay, if when you're debating a decision or doing anything, well, what would a person who loves themselves do? Would they pick this, chips, or would they pick an apple? And believe it or not, you get the answers. You get the answers. And I think this something like that, where it's going to be highly motivational, but not because you went to some kind of rah-rah Tony Robbins meetings, but because you cannot stand anymore being in some kind of like dark space, and you're saying, that's it, it's literally being a fixed sign. You're making this executive decision, and you're sort of like turning into this goddess, which kind of like, you guys are Venus signs. It's kind of like really interesting that you got moon goddess, but so be it, because I think some shakedown is going to happen and you're going to go in a new direction. So yes, let you destroy and to rebuild is stronger. And Taurus, if you want a student reading, please check the description. This is like $50 reading for students, and it's kind of like practicing for them, but they're like really well chosen. And if you want a reading from me, check my website. So this, guys, this is this much from me this time around. I hope these messages are kind of like meeting you well. So I hope also, guys, that you can stamp and maybe even give a title if you wish. I thought it was a really, I think my turquoise, she's not here, right? But she kind of like had some amazing titles. I really enjoyed this. So yeah, we have worked on this for about a year and a half. We did. Let's do something else really quickly. Let's do really quick Reiki over here. And for those of you who kind of like need some energy, so I'm just going to guide you through it. So this healing is for everybody. Like, even if you're feeling great, it's going to kind of be beneficial. So just close your eyes, guys, and just like be guided with my voice. That's, I mean, you can look at my hands if you want, but the key over here is like to connect with your breathing, and it is much easier to do that when you are breathing. So let's kind of do it. Let's breathe in, and let's breathe out. Let's breathe in, and let's breathe out. So guys, I want to send you all kind of like a white yellowish, very kind of like nice lighting that you're going to start feeling almost like a blankie wrapping around your body, and feeling soft and feeling just perfect. You imagine yourself being on some kind of camping trip, and just sitting in front of your tent and looking at a fire, and you are not close enough to create any problem for you. You're just distant enough to feel extreme nice comfort. And now you're feeling this beautiful light being there for you, almost like if there was like some kind of like beautiful spiritual glitter. And just enjoy it. Just like you should know that light is going to be there with you even after you finish watching this video or listening to me. It's staying with you. Reiki is not something that just goes like the wind. You're working on it. So right now, make your affirmation. It is a new moon Reiki. Just from the messages that you received, or if you have something special that you really want to set up as affirmation, now it is your time. Just focus and do that, and breathe while you're doing that. I'll be just breathing for you and leaving you a few moments to picture it, and make sure it's not I don't want this. It has to be positive and affirmative. That's why it's called affirmation. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to move on. So hopefully you decided what affirmation you want, and now feel very strong and very positive about it as you breathe that energy, this beautiful crystal shining energy inside of you, and you release out anything that is stopping you. So guys, now all you need to do is every morning just close your eyes and remind yourself of how you felt with that affirmation, and every night the same. And you're sending this affirmation to the universe, and of course you need to kind of do the steps as per the reading, but you are right now healing certain blockages and certain aspects. So all is good. Namaste guys. You can now open your eyes and get grounded, and I hope you're going to be relaxed and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much for everybody who have stayed here with me until the end. Thank you for every donation, that always counts. Thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I'm going to see you later on my other series. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I love you.